Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Guild Wars 2 PvP build guide. We're here on Thief this time, DP Thief build with staff. I haven't made a proper Thief build since, Heart of Thorns was released, and I have a lot of old Thief builds which don't require Heart of Thorns, so you can check those out if you don't have the expansion. But here we are on DP Thief with staff in the second weapon slot. I've been playing this build a lot, it's working out really nicely. Just practicing it for ranked, even though ranked I probably won't be playing Thief, to be honest, but yeah, it's really fun in unranked, works very well. I'm not going to include gameplay because simply unranked gameplay is just pretty stupid. You just dominate everybody, or your team gets dominated because you get unlucky with the matchmaking. But yeah, some PvP news, they're tweaking some skills that are OP on classes, so probably Pulmonary Impact will get a bit of a nerf, it might not be unblockable anymore or something, and they might reduce the damage. What else? They might nerf Stealth Gyro again. But yeah, also Mercenary Amulet is being removed, so a lot of builds will be taking a big hit from that. Necro will be back on Carrion Amulet. Condi Warrior probably won't work anymore. What else? Condi Mesmer will be back on Carrion Amulet, won't be Mercenary anymore. But yeah, so a lot of builds. I think that's a good balance change, taking out the amulet, even though it's a bit stupid. That's all they could think of to change, to balance stuff. But yeah. So anyway, back to the build. We have staff with air and blood sigil. So with staff, you're mainly going to be using staff 5 to cleave on downs or cleave low people. Also, if there's a big group of people, you want to use staff 5. It's also a nice evade, and you can use it on certain maps to kind of jump, to a distance. So a normal jump that you couldn't make by just jumping over there, you can maybe make with staff 5. If I can, yeah. So then we got Dagger Pistol with Rage and Air. Rage is really good for the Heartseeker Steel Burst. You just auto attack them down really fast if you don't get knocked back. But yeah, Rage is really good for the initial burst, and people don't expect that, and they don't see it coming. And then you can get a good chunk of their health down from that. Then we got Pack Rune for the damage, power, precision, and swiftness duration, so we'll always have swiftness up permanently because of dash. And I like the stats on Pack Rune as well. If you want to go for a more balls deep approach, take Scholar Rune. More defensive approach, you want to take Scrapper. So that's more power and toughness, gives you a bit of toughness, which is nice, and reduced damage as well. Then we got Marauder Amulet, of course. You can take Berserker in unranked, that would be viable. But in ranked, I recommend Marauder Amulet. Then into traits, let's pull up the traits here. Then we'll go through utilities and stuff after that, and how to play the build. So Deadly Arts, we have Mug, of course, deal damage and steal life when stealing. Then Panic Strike, so whenever you strike a foe below 50%, you'll immobilize them. While they're immobilized, spam auto attack, gets a lot of damage off really quickly. An Executioner, so you deal more damage to low health enemies. You can also take Improvisation to use stolen items twice, and recharge your skills if you're lucky. But yeah, I like Executioner. But yeah, here's a good opening with Thief. Auto attack spam, get the immobilize off, and we have it down already. So that's pretty much one of the openings I like to use. There's many ways you can stomp on this build: stealth stomps, blink stomps, instant stomps. There's cool things like that. I'll explain those in a minute though. Then Trickery, we have, of course, Still of the Crime for this Fury, Might, Swiftness. And then these are debatable. I like to take Trickster for the reduced recharge on your heal skill. It removes those 4 conditions and an extra one, so it can remove up to 5 conditions. And it has a 14.5 second cooldown compared to 18 when you take this straight. But this is really good for the boon stealing and the vigor duration. Even though I don't really require the boon stolen, other than if it's against a Necro. It's really good to steal a Necro stability, then get an interrupt on them with Sleight of Hand. But yeah, I like to take Trickster for the Condi clear. Then Sleight of Hand, so steal is an interrupt. That's pretty much all it does, and reduces the recharge. Really strong skill though. Then onto Daredevil, we have Havoc Mastery. Deal increased damage to enemies within the range threshold. You can also take Weakening Strikes for the opening weakness in a 1v1, which really helps. Or Brawler's Tenacity for a reduced recharge on your elite skill. I like the 7% flat damage though. because we'll always be like really close range to our opponents, even if we're on a staff. But yeah, staff 5 really good damage. Also staff auto attack's good. You can kind of kite around and then jump in with staff 5. Though is what I really like. You can dodge out, leap back in with staff 5, dodge out, leap back in, and staff auto attack as well. Really good cleave on a downed body, similar to 100 Blades in a way. And then over here, Pulmonary Impact, of course, for the interrupts damage. Really important. After the patch, I reckon this skill will get nerfed, so we'll move over to Escapist Absolution or Staff Master. And then Dash is our dodge. You can also take Bound, but then you'd have to take Shortbow with the build, with the mobility. But yeah, Dash with Staff is really strong. So those are the traits. Utilities, Withdraw, of course, Free Disengage, Movement Skill, Condeclear, and Evade, and is pretty big healing. Then Shadow Step is great for stomping, Condeclear, Stun Break, and even getting into fights. So you can play around, you can do some pretty cool tricks with it, like just go into a fight, then Shadow Step out, Heartseeker Steel back in. Then Stomp I really like to use is Blinding Powder, so you just press F and Blinding Powder at the same time. Pretty much guarantees a stomp against classes with targeted CC or that don't have blinks, so like it works against Ranger, Necro, Warrior, Revenant, and what else? Yeah, it doesn't work against Guardian. It can if you the blind procs there. If the blind shit I actually died. Jesus Christ, I'm bad. It can work against Guardians if you time the blind correctly to when they do their knockback. It works against Engineer as well. Doesn't work on Mesmer or Thief. But yeah, it's a really good, nice ability to stomp. Oh, I can't believe we died there. Okay. Yeah. Let's get back up. So yeah, Blinding Powder, good for stomping. It's a good disengage. If someone bursts you, you can Blinding Powder. I recommend dropping Black Powder first, because then it blasts the stealth field and you get 6 seconds of stealth. It's pretty much a free disengage. Yeah, you have a lot of time then. Then Agility Signet, of course, when you're double dodging, pop your Agility Signet to get some dodges back. Also, the passive is nice, 180 precision, good crit chance. It also removes a condition whenever you activate it. So if you have like 10 stacks of burning on you, you can proc this, and there it goes. Then, Impact Strike for stomping down people, really great against tanky classes that you need to like secure, like a Ranger, Scrapper, Ellie, things like that. Can also be used when they're still alive, so I'll try and show that off. Yeah, so this guy's still alive. Oh, we messed that up there. Oh no, we didn't. So yeah, the last strike stomps them. So you can use it while they're alive, and that was an instant kill, so he didn't even go into the down state there, if you saw that properly. I'll just try and show it off again here, but yeah. Main idea of the build, auto attack spam, switch when they're low, get big cleaves off with your staff. When they're down, you staff auto attack and staff 5. Then you can staff 2 steel, it's a big burst of damage if you time it correctly. So I really like staff 5 when kiting in 1v1s. Just kite out, staff 5, kite, staff 5. There's a cool trick I learned as well when you're trying to escape. Thief already has many ways to escape. The main one I use is just Black Powder Heartseeker. Also that works on a stomp, so you can Black Powder Heartseeker and then stomp somebody if your Blinding Powder is on cooldown, otherwise try and use that. Steel, use that in conjunction with Heartseeker or Backstab. So when you're in stealth, when you have Backstab up, you can press 1 and Steel at the same time to get a Backstab off as well. But I like to open with Heartseeker Steel in my opinion. Spam Headshot to get the interrupts off when you can. Well, don't spam it, but use it well. Spam Headshot against Revs though, just because that usually works very well. Because Revs use their skills very fast, so do Scrappers as well with kits. So Headshot works very well against that. Don't use it when they have a Reflector, because that will just rebound onto you, and that's bad news. So yeah, what else can we do with yes, I'll show off some stomps. With Shadow Step, you can get a nice secure stomp off. I'll try and show that off here. So you, basically when you start stomping, you Shadow Step away. Do not spam Heartseeker as well, that's a big tip. Spam Shadow Shot if anything, so start stomping, Shadow Step away. and then you can go back in right at the end and secure the stomp. It works very well against things like Guardian and Druid, but if they time it well, then it doesn't work. Map chat, Jesus. What's it called? If you don't want to take Blinding Powder, you think your stealth is enough, you can take Bandit's Defense, which is a great block for 1.5 seconds, also a stun break, and then you can knock someone down after you use it. If you take these 2 skills, since you have 2 physicals, it's also worth it to take Brawler's Tenacity for the reduced cooldown. But yeah, I prefer Blinding Powder, it's more of a playstyle option. It has a long cooldown though, so you need to learn like when to use it and in what situations to. What else do we talk about? Yeah, the build's pretty like, the more you play, the better you'll get at it. It's just about fast reactions, jumping in and out of fights, bursting someone down, and going to the next fight. You don't want to engage in too many 1v1s unless you're sure you can win it. I like to 1v1 Necros now though, because you can just get interrupts off on them so easily with their lack of stability. They only have like 2 skills to give them stability, and you can dodge their elite skill so easily because of the big tail it has. Let's try and use the elite skill on the Angie. And the instant stomp, that's what I was talking about there, really strong. Spam Shadow Shot if you have to, it's really good for a gap closer. What else? You can backstab with Shadow Shot as well if you time it correctly. Try and do it on the Rev. So go Stealth, Shadow Shot, spam 1, and there we go, that was a backstab, even though it was low damage because we didn't crit. A backstab is a backstab. Don't always use Heartseeker and Steel, sometimes just Steel with auto attack is best, because Heartseeker uses up like very of your initiative, and then you lose some of your initiative for the disengage. When someone's down, I love to use the other staff skills. Let's talk about that. So Debilitating Arc removes condies, it cripples the enemy as well, removes Immobilize and is an evade, so it's mainly used for the evade, similar to Shortbow 3. And this is a blind and a bit of vulnerability, great for vulnerability stacking. Don't spam it too much though, because it uses a lot of initiative. Staff 2 does a lot of damage, but it's hard to kind of land very well. You have to be right up in their face, which is not usually the best option, because you want to be kiting around. But if you do happen to be in that situation, Staff 2 is the way to go. Then we have lead attacks, or lead attacks. Everyone says it differently, but I call it lead attacks because it kind of makes more sense. 15% damage bonus, and works for condi damage as well, and Steel recharges faster. One of my favorite traits, gives Thief a good damage bonus. You can kind of stack it up very easily with Bolt or Black Powder Steel, or Black Powder Heartseeker, sorry. Gets you up to 9, so that's basically a 10% damage bonus. So, headshot during the fight randomly. You don't always have to do it though. Then you can kind of stomp someone, then pull out of the fight really quickly. But yeah, Thief is all about being quick and +1ing fights, downing enemies, stomping with this kind of build. It's not about like stealthing all the time and like one-shotting people as it used to be with the DP build. But yep, this is the DP Thief build. Practice it, test it out for ranked season next time, which starts in about a week, I've read somewhere. So yep, that's coming up soon. We'll get to Legendary again easily. Hope you guys get to Legendary too. Thanks for watching, see you guys next time, and subscribe for more videos.